So, Pokemon Snap 2 has finally been announced. Or rather, new Pokemon Snap, as it's being called. Nintendo's naming scheme has never been the best, but, that's besides the point here. Pokemon Snap has been a game that so many Pokemon fans have been asking for years and years and years. I mean, if you're around my age, you played Pokemon Snap back on the N64 when it first came out. It was also re-released on the Wii, which I unfortunately never got to play that version of it. But ever since it first came out, people were begging for a sequel to it. And infuriatingly enough, Junichi Masuda, the producer for the series, he's also directed quite a few games in the series as well. Uh, he was kind of adamant about not doing another entry for the series. His reasoning apparently being that when Pokemon Snap first came out back in the 90s, cameras weren't as ubiquitous as they are these days. Everyone has a smartphone. Everyone has a camera in their smartphone. I mean, hell, even like lower scale feature phones have cameras in them, and getting like a separate DSLR or what have you is a lot easier than it used to be. So cameras are everywhere now, and he felt that if they came out with the Pokemon Snap today, then it wouldn't really be a unique experience like it was when it first came out back in the 90s on the N64. But maybe we could do something with that idea. Maybe there's an idea there that they could try. But the infuriating thing about it was that Nintendo wasn't trying, or Game Freak wasn't trying, or whomever it was just was not trying. I mean, really, Pokemon Snap was just an on-rail shooter when you get down to it. Not much there to it was a very simple game. Not much to really do other than take pictures. And I mean, it's just the varied environments that they had: a beach, a cave, a volcanic area. There's so much you could do. With all the new Pokemon that we already have. I mean, there's also evidence to suggest that maybe they were going to have like a haunted house kind of theme featuring ghost type Pokemon. If the leftover music is anything to go by, that you can find in the game's data. And at that point in time, there were only three ghost types to begin with: Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar. Just that line. And even Gold and Silver only introduced one new ghost type in Mischievous. But we have so many more Pokemon now. You could legitimately make a haunted house style track to go through for Pokemon Snap with all the ghosts that we have now, and not just ghost types either. You can also use some of the creepier dog type Pokemon in a theme like that. And considering that the original Pokemon Snap was just an on-rail shooter, you could do like make the new game more open-ended. Maybe more of an open world sandbox type game. We can walk around and find Pokemon that are procedurally generated in the world. That's an idea that could be used, but again, Junichi Masuda didn't want to do it. And to be fair, I'll say this in his defense. It might not actually be his decision to not do a Pokemon Snap 2 or Pokemon Stadium 3. Someone in the company could have been saying no to doing those projects, and he's just the one relaying the message, I guess. But the way he speaks about it, it kind of comes off as maybe it's his decision. Maybe. But anyway, that's all in the past now. We're getting a new Pokemon Snap game that is indeed called New Pokemon Snap, which again, the name's not the best. It probably would be better to call it Pokemon Snap 2, I think, or I don't know, or Pokemon Snap Switch or something. I mean, there has been a huge gap between these two games, so maybe calling it Pokemon Snap 2. Well, I still think that they should call it that, honestly, but maybe calling it Pokemon Snap 2 with this huge gap may not be the best thing, but I don't know. It's just the name itself is not the best. Same thing with the new Nintendo 3DS, and I guess you could say the Wii U. Even though I actually do like the name Wii U, I get the idea behind the name, but yeah, the naming scheme and the marketing for the Wii U wasn't the best, but yeah. So a couple of things about the new Pokemon Snap game coming out. One, it will be an on-rail shooter again. You're in that that kind of weird contraption, just going on a track and capturing as many Pokemon on film as you possibly can. And two, well, the game looks beautiful. Oh my god, these are the visuals for Pokemon game that people have been wanting for the longest time. And I've said this before. I don't think I've said this on video here, but I've said this before to other people at least. games like Pokemon Stadium, games like Pokemon Coliseum, Pokemon Stadium, Stadium 2, Coliseum, Gale of Darkness, Pokemon Battle Revolution, games like the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Pokemon Ranger, Pokemon Conquest even. All those games are unique in their own right and distinct from the main Pokemon games, and they all turned out very interesting, very different from the main games. It's a new experience for long-time Pokemon fans. And the reason those games turned out so well is because Game Freak didn't make them. It's become very apparent to a lot of people that at the very least, since Pokemon X and Y, Game Freak's development skills, or the lack of development skills rather, have been showing. And yeah, like a lot of people, I myself too, I gave X and Y a pass because it was Game Freak's first 3D Pokemon game, so we all thought that, well, maybe come Generation 7 it'll be better. Kind of wasn't though. Gen 7 was pretty underwhelming. And then Gen 8, Pokemon Sword and Shield, was a disaster. I mean, we got visuals and Pokemon models just being reused and just seems like just like a small step up from the 3DS games. But now we're getting a Pokemon game being developed by Bandai Namco, of all people, which is interesting. They're developing the new Pokemon Snap. And, God, it's embarrassing how good the game looks. It looks good at the very least. I mean, even if the core gameplay of it is going to be just the same as the original Pokemon Snap, which I'm fine with. You know, we have so many new Pokemon to work with, and and hopefully it turns out great. But just visually speaking, the game puts Pokemon Sword and Shield to shame, and it's extremely embarrassing that. I mean, as far as I know, I don't think Bandai Namco has ever done a Pokemon game before, and this is just them doing it, the one time doing it, and visually at least, new Pokemon Snap looks much better than Pokemon Sword and Shield, and that is embarrassing. So overall, I'm looking forward to the new game. I can't wait for it to come out. God, I've been waiting for the Pokemon Snap for so long. I love Pokemon Snap. Pretty short game too. Like you can finish it in apparently you can finish the game in 3 hours if you actually sit down and really play it. And apparently you can 100% the game in 5 hours. But still, it's a pretty short game, but it was still really enjoyable for what it is. You know, and hopefully the new Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Snap 2, whatever you want to call it. Hopefully that brings that same sort of magical feel, back to us. And the only thing more I can say is that I hope at some point in the future we get Pokemon Stadium 3. Because we need that. My God, Pokemon Stadium is so good. Oh my God, I love both those games, Stadium 1 and Stadium 2. They both have their own unique feels to each other. Pokemon Stadium 2 added so much content to it. It's just so good. There's so many more Pokemon now that, God, it's just... the tournaments and everything could be so much better. But only if Game Freak, or whoever's making these decisions, I don't know if it's Game Freak or not, but whoever's making these decisions, they need to just go ahead and do Pokemon Stadium 3. And the new Pokemon RPG wouldn't be bad too for the Switch. So something akin to Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. That would be cool too. We got Pokemon Snap, and that was a pipe dream in itself. So fingers crossed. I can hope for the future for a new single-player console Pokemon RPG that's dissimilar to the main games that Game Freak has been making, and more than that, I want a Pokemon Stadium 3. But again, we got Pokemon Snap, so I can hope at least. So that's just kind of it. That's kind of all I wanted to say about this. I'm looking forward to the new game. Hopefully, it turns out great. And before I go, like many other people, I've got a Twitch channel that I'm working with again. Had a gaming channel, but apparently YouTube decided that I shouldn't have a gaming channel. So Twitch it is. I'll link that down below if you actually want to sit down and watch it. Whenever I get around to streaming. But anyway, self-promotion aside, thoughts on this game aside, that's it for now, and I'll talk to you guys later.